and it offers examination coachings for UPSC CSC, State Public Service Commission, SSC Combined Graduate Level Exam, and also CLAT examinations. So please do visit AKS IAS Academy and also the website of AKS IAS Academy. About me, I am Sandeep Bhushan Tumala, and my credentials are: I have 10 years of teaching experience for civil services. I teach international relations, internal security, and analysis of the Hindu newspaper. And this session will definitely help you to crack prelims and mains examinations, because throughout my session in regards to the daily news analysis, I would be emphasizing on the keywords and the key phrases. So I would be picking up the keywords and the key phrases from the news, that is daily news analysis. So by identifying the keywords and the key phrases, we will definitely get into the mode of again trying to identify the factual, analytical, and also the conceptual questions which will be useful for the preliminary examinations. So therefore we will definitely get into the mode of identifying the factual, analytical, and conceptual questions. These are all questions which will be useful for the preliminary examinations, and this will be only when we try to identify the keywords and the key phrases. So definitely from prelims point of view, we will definitely get into the mode of having an edge over others by identifying the keywords and the key phrases. And in regards to the mains point of view, we will definitely have an edge over others in regards to the answer writing in regards to the mains examination. Why? Because we will be making sure that, or throughout my session I will be making sure that you imbibe the keywords and the key phrases in the mains examinations. That is, when you imbibe the keywords and the key phrases in your answers, that is in the mains examination, therefore your answers would be definitely precise and concise to what is being demanded by the UPSC in the mains examinations. Thereby you will definitely score higher marks in the mains examination. So certainly my session will definitely help you to have an edge over others in regards to the prelims and also in regards to the mains examinations for both 2020 as well as 2021. And this session is in regards to the daily news analysis, that is today's 25th of August 2020. And I would reiterate and re-emphasize my tagline, that is Sandeep Bhushan tagline, that is identifying or emphasizing on the keywords and the key phrases. So definitely the keywords and the key phrases which I would be emphasizing throughout my lecture, that is in the AKS IAS Academy daily news analysis, will be certainly helpful for you in regards to the prelims as well as mains examinations, and it will certainly be an useful and important even in regards to your interview, that is in regards to the personality test of UPSC or State Public Service Commission. So certainly my session will be helpful for you in regards to the prelims, mains, and also for the mains examinations. So before I get into the topic, I would say a very good morning to all who are in the live and also in the live chat. Good morning to all. And very good morning to Anil, Nitin. I think Nitin has joined for the first time today. A warm welcome to you, Nitin, to AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis. Sampath Kumar, Sai Krishna, Rala Bhandi, Rahul, D. Suvarna, Venkat Naik, all of you, a warm welcome to you all to AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis. And now we'll focus or just look at the quote of the day. And the quote of the day very clearly talks about the success. And when do you have success, or when will you have success? Only when you have a state of mind. When your state of mind is always worried about or always thinking about success. If you want success, start thinking of yourself as a success. So what is very important is you need to start thinking that you are a successful person, and that has to be your state of mind if you really wanted to be success. No doubt you need to work hard. No doubt you need to work hard. You need to put in your efforts. You need to believe yourself. You need to achieve for that. You need to have a schedule for it. You need to have that entire strategy for it. But the foremost important is that you need to start thinking. You need to start thinking that you are a successful person, and that is your state of mind. And your state of mind always should be in regards to that you would be a successful person and you would achieve success. And then definitely you can achieve success provided you have all the strategy in place, your consistency, and you sticking to your schedule, then definitely you will have the success. But it is very important that it is a state of mind, and you need to always start thinking about success. Never think about failure. You should always think about success. And Venkat Reddy, Praveen Kumar have also joined. Very good morning to both of you to Daily News Analysis of AKSIS Academy. Okay, Venkat Reddy says best quote, sir. Thank you very much. And this is what you need to follow it. It's always, even to me, not only to everyone, I mean to the civil servant aspirant, but as a teacher, even I need to also be into the mind of state of mind of always being success, and I need to start thinking about success. Only then I can try to get into the path of being a successful person. And now we'll get into the topic, that is the daily news analysis, which talks about the DNA bill can be misused. Who is saying this? There is a draft report. So the keyword here is DNA bill. DNA bill is the keyword which we will be focusing, because this has been in the news. Why is it in the news? Why is it in the news? Why is it in news? It is in news because a draft report has been taken up by whom? By the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Science and Technology, because this is again very important when we are talking about the parliamentary standing committees or standing committees. Again, why standing committees are important? Standing committees are important in regards to the prelims point of view, because I have said, in the previous classes also I have spoken about length in regards to the standing committee from polity point of view. From polity point of view, I did discuss. You have to focus on even standing committees also, ad hoc committees, and standing committees. These are again very important for in regards to the committees for prelims point of view in regards to the polity. So a draft report has been taken up by the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Science and Technology, and it is headed by Jairam Ramesh from the Congress. Indian National Congress is heading the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Science and Technology, and the committee has come up with a report. That is why the DNA bill now it is in news. So it is in news because a draft report on Science and Technology by the Parliamentary Standing Committee has flagged off, or it has said that there is a possibility. Why it is in news? Because the draft report says that there is a possibility of misuse of DNA bill. Please do understand, this is why it is in news. It is in news because it says that the report or the Parliamentary Standing Committee on S&T is saying that there would be a misuse of the DNA bill. How? We will focus how this misuse of DNA bill could be possibility, which the Parliamentary Standing Committee is raising a doubt. That is, it is proposing that it can happen in a DNA sampling. Please do understand this. It is very important for prelims as well as mains examination. So DNA sampling and DNA profile, you can take it as profile. So in the DNA sampling and DNA profile of whom? Of the citizens can be misused. And why this DNA sampling and DNA profiles of the citizens will be taken into consideration by the concerned department or concerned authority? That is, it will be in regards to the citizens who are accused, that is, who have committed a crime. Citizens who have committed a crime, fine, and when they have committed a crime or the one who are reported missing. So it is in regards to the one who have been committing crime or the one who are been missing. So individual or citizens who are missing. So please do understand the DNA sampling and the DNA profile of the citizens can be misused. That is what the report says. And how the citizens DNA sampling and DNA profile can be misused? Because first is the DNA sampling or DNA profile will be taken by the person who has been committed crime. That is the individual or the citizen, and the citizen who is missing also. So for that they will be taking the DNA sampling and the DNA profile. And what is important, why it is in news, once again we will get into the in depth, that this DNA will be storing the DNA sampling and DNA profile. So it stores this, and when it is storing this, what it is having? It is having all the genetic information. Please do understand, it is having the entire genetic information of the citizen. When we are talking about, it could be the one who has committed the crime or the person who has missing information. So definitely the entire stored information, that is the genetic information, can be misused. So here it says it can be misused for what? It can be misused for caste or community based profiling. This is very important. Please do understand, caste or community based profiling. And this is the keyword here. What you need to focus is caste or community based profiling. The DNA sampling or DNA profile of the person who has been committed crime or the one who has been missing an individual, the entire genetic information can be misused by the DNA bill in regards to the caste or community based profiling, is the report which has been drafted by the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Science and Technology, and it is putting forth at the in regards to the putting forth to the Parliament that it can be misused, which is been headed by Congress leader Jairam Ramesh. So this is very important. DNA sampling, DNA profiling, crime, missing, genetic information, and it can be misused for caste and community based profiling. This is very important. Caste and community based profiling. Okay, before I move further, Venkat says that, sir, your analysis is good about the topic. Okay, thank you very much, and good job has also joined. A warm welcome to you. Good job to AKSIS Academy Daily News Analysis. And the committee has come up with the report which is pointing at the DNA profile. So when it is pointing at the DNA profile, that it can be misused. See, here we are looking at the draft report of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Science and Technology. What it has said. So definitely we can also get some analytical points from this and the keywords which can be used in your mains answer, because I was talking about DNA sampling and DNA profile. So these DNA profiles of the citizens by the DNA bill are extremely sensitive information, and all this information what is there present, that is I was talking about the genetic information, is definitely a sensitive information. That is what the draft is saying. The information which is in the DNA profiles are the sensitive information about the individual, that is the citizen. So what are that sensitive information we look at? That is in regards to the pedigree. That is pedigree in the sense, pedigree means what? The lineage. Lineage in the sense, like we are trying to identify who are the forefathers, lineage, forefathers, and all that information will be provided here. And then in regards to the skin color, and then about the behavior. This, it could be part of your short notes in the mains answer. That is, DNA profile consists of what? It constitutes what? Skin color, behavior, and then illness about the individual. Illness, what are the illness the individual is going ahead? That is the entire health status, and the susceptibility to the diseases. That means what kind of diseases this person can have. Susceptibility to diseases. Why? Because if the person who has been involved in the crime, if he has, what do you say, from the jail he has moved out, or he has definitely making sure that with some kind of help he has moved out of the jail, or he has escaped from the jail. And when they get to know about the illness, health status and susceptibility to diseases, so they will identify that entire area, or they will combing of that entire area will be done, and looking into the age and the disease, they will get to the various medical shops or the pharmacist, and they will definitely get to know that what kind of medications or medicines were taken up by XYZ person, and by that they can try to track it. Track it. So the sensitive information in the DNA profiles are the pedigree, that is the lineage, skin color, behavior, illness, health status and susceptibility to diseases are part of the DNA profiles, and that is also mentioned in the committee, that is the Parliamentary Standing Committee, that this information can be misused. And Shivamurthy has joined, David Paul has also joined. A warm welcome to both of you to AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis. And the report also says that it is in regards to, or it disregards, please do understand, this is again very important for prelims point of view, it disregards individuals' privacy. So another important what is, it is against the individual privacy and other safeguards. Not only that, it is also the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Science and Technology says that it violates the fundamental rights to privacy. That is what it says. It violates the fundamental rights of privacy. Not only that, it says that the DNA technological regulation bill is a premature one. Please do understand this keyword. So the report is saying that the DNA technological regulation bill is a premature. Why? Because what the draft says, it can be misused for the caste and community profiling. That is why it says it is a premature one. And what is this entire DNA profile? So what they say is it is premature because India doesn't have, or there is an absence of robust data protection legislation. This is very important for mains point of view. So the committee is making it very clear that there is an absence. That means there is no proper strict mechanism of a robust data protection legislation. So when we are talking about the legislation, so it is again very important for prelims and mains point of view, because this is very important that you can take it as a short notes for the mains, that absence of the robust, or when you are writing an answer you can put it under your measures or suggestions. Under measures or suggestions you can put it that the Government of India or the Science and Technology Department needs a robust data protection legislation, so that the DNA profile and the DNA sampling or the genetic information which is very sensitive cannot be misused for XYZ reasons. You can put it XYZ reasons, whichever you feel so. So as there is absence of robust data protection legislation, so now this is what National DNA Data Bank. Again, this keyword is very important. So we are having all this. So National DNA Data Bank or National DNA Data Bank consists of what? DNA profile or DNA sampling. In general, if you take DNA profile is part of the National DNA Data Bank. So this is again very important for you in regards to the prelims and also for the mains examination, that you need to get into the idea of National DNA Data Bank, which is the DNA profile, DNA sampling of the individuals or the citizens who are under criminal obligations and the one who are missing. And now along with that, the committee urged the government, it is urging the government to amend the provisions. to amend the provisions. So that is why the committee says that it is a premature one. As it is a premature one, so there is necessary to amend the provisions of the DNA Technology Regulation Bill. Please do understand, this is again very important for prelims and mains. DNA technological deoxyribonucleic acid, deoxyribonucleic acid technology regulation bill is premature. What the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Science and Technology has drafted a report. It says DNA technology report regulation bill is a premature. Because of that, there need to be an amendment done. So that why amendment? Why amendment? If suppose there is an ex-citizen and this ex-citizen was found, or else he was taken into custody initially. This citizen was taken into custody initially at the crime site because he was present at the crime site, and his DNA profile was part of the National DNA Data Bank, was part of the National DNA Data Bank. But later on, in due process of the entire situations or the way the entire case was taken up, the citizen was found, or he was found not guilty. He was not found guilty. He was not found guilty. So what the amendment says is, so when he is not found guilty during the process of the investigation, in due course of time, when the ex-citizen was at the crime site, and he was taken into custody, and then his data profile was in part of the National DNA Data Bank, what the committee says is, you need to amend later on and remove or delete. Please do understand, remove or delete the DNA profile of the citizen in the due process of the investigation wherein he has found not guilty of the crime. So that has to be removed. That is what the amendment is talking about. So it says that the provision to ensure that the person who has been found innocent, that means who was not guilty or he has been found innocent, his data profile has to be removed immediately. This is very important. That is what the draft committee says, that there has to be an amendment being done to it. And then Bhaskar Rao has joined, Madhu has joined, Ranjit Kumar has joined. A warm welcome to all of you to AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis. And I hope you have understood the importance of the DNA bill, which the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Science and Technology says it can be misused for caste and community profiling. So now we will look at just DNA technology used and application regulation bill 2019. So as it is the latest one, 2019, so there is always a possibility that it could be part of prelims or mains in regards to the DNA technology. And this has been, actually it has been since 2003, and then the bill has come into existence in regards to the NOT Act. Please do understand, it is a bill. It is a bill, not act. DNA Technology Regulation Bill, or DNA Technology Use and Application Bill 2019. And it is this bill, DNA Technology Bill, is around 60 countries. And if you look at the USA, it has brought into a law as the DNA technology into a law in the year 1994. So you can just take it for information sake that USA has come up with, making sure that it is definitely part of the law in US. And what does this DNA bill proposes? It proposes to store. What to store? That is DNA profiles. So DNA profiles of whom? Only the suspects who are under trials or victims. And what is important is not only the DNA profiles of the suspects, not only who are under trial. See, that is what important, under trial, and the one after trial is the person is found innocent, then the DNA profile has to be deleted. That is what the amendment, what is being questioned or demanded by the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Science and Technology, the draft report. And the victims also, both the suspect and the victims, and not only that, the relatives. This is very important. Even the relatives for further investigation. The bill proposes the DNA profiles of all the suspects, under trials, victims, relatives, and investigation. And what does it? So this it proposes, and what does it provides? All these are very important. I am explaining in regards to the entire the concept itself, and it provides DNA profiles. It provides DNA profiles for what? It provides DNA profiles for civil matters also, not only in regards to the legal, but also it will provide profile for the civil matters, which will be stored in the national DNA data bank, without a clear and separate index. So there has to be separate index for civil matters and then for the law matters. So I hope you have looked at this from prelims and also mains point of view. And the another news which talks about is DRDO list 108 defense items. So what is that we need to focus here is that recently we have seen that the defense ministry has come up with the negative list. Please do understand, this is background I am giving. In recent past, just 15 days or fortnight ago, the defense ministry has come up with or identifying the defense negative list, wherein they will reduce the imports, and then they are in the process of increasing the exports. By what? By Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan scheme. By Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan scheme. So the main intention is the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan scheme in the defense sector, and they have identified the negative list. Fine. Now what the defense ministry has come up. So now this is today's news I am talking about. What the defense ministry has come up is that it has identified 108 military subsystems and components. Please do understand, it has identified 108 military subsystems and components have been identified. For what? It has identified for what? It has identified for development. It has identified for development. And development by whom? By development by the Indian industry. That is what is Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan scheme. That is emphasizing or protecting or supporting the Indian manufacturing units or Indian industry. So part of the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan scheme, the defense ministry has identified 108 defense items, that is for military subsystems and components, which would be developed, which would be identified for development by Indian industry and DRDO. This is very important. This conceptual understanding is very important. Development for Indian industry and by the DRDO, that is Defense Research and Development Organizations, and this will provide support for the entire process of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan scheme. And then when we are looking at this, it is in regards to the research and development, and this is in regards to the research and development. So this research and development by the Indian industry and the DRDO will be taken up in regards to the armed forces. That means the arms and ammunitions which are required, which are essential for the armed forces and also for other security agencies. Please do understand, the one which are necessary for the armed forces and for the security agencies will be taken up by the military systems, systems and the components will be done in regards to the research and development for the armed forces and for the security agencies, and this will be taken up by a contract. That is, all this research and development or development to the Indian industry and DRDO will be taken up by a contract or by a production order, PO, production order. This is very important. So how the defense ministry will give the will go ahead with the research and development to the development by the Indian industries, that is as part of the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan scheme, and to the DRDO is through contract or the production order. Please do understand, by the contract or production order. And here when we are focusing in regards to the DRDO, again DRDO will provide what it will provide? It will provide design, development and testing. So this is important. How DRDO will help in regards to the research and development of the indigenous manufacturing units for the defense components or the subsystems or the systems, that is through the design, development and testing of these systems or the subsystems of the military and the components of the military. So thereby DRDO will help or provide this support. And DRDO will definitely is, when we are talking about design, develop and testing, we have looked at DRDO will go ahead with design, or it will provide design, development and testing. So DRDO will partner with whom? This is very important for prelims point of view. Will partner. This is important for prelims point of view. Will partner with whom? It will partner with ATAGS, and it will partner with Pinaka rocket launchers. So what is ATGS? It will partner with advanced towed. Tow means what? Towing means moving, pushing, move, tow, move. Towing means move. So DRDO will partner with advanced towed artillery gun system. So it is an artillery. It is artillery. This one artillery, and Pinaka rocket launchers. So these two are very important for prelims point of view. In regards, why? Because Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan scheme, part of the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan scheme, DRDO is partnering with advanced towed artillery gun system and Pinaka rocket launchers. And DRDO is consisting of almost, now DRDO consists of 1,800 micro, small and medium enterprises and the defense public sector undertakings and ordnance factories and large scale industries. So in regards to development, design and testing, it will go ahead with using the micro, small and medium enterprises. Again, when we are talking about micro, small and medium enterprises, definitely again it is part of the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan scheme, wherein India is definitely making sure that it is protecting or it is supporting, it is giving financial assistance to the indigenous Indian manufacturing units, that is micro, small and medium enterprises. So you have under DRDO 1800 micro, small and medium enterprises, which will be part of the entire industry base to go ahead with the development or design and testing. And the other one is defense public sector undertakings. So you undertake public sector undertakings under defense, and then you have the ordnance factory, which goes ahead with the production of the defense arms and ammunition and the large scale industries. So this is the advanced tow, ATAGS, advanced towed artillery gun system. So that means, see, look at this, you have the drive wheels. So when you have the drive wheels or caster wheels, so this is what you can move. That is what it is. Towed means which can be moved. Advanced towed artillery gun system, and this is Pinaka rocket launcher. So this is again very important from the current affairs in regards to the scheme, Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan scheme, and also in regards to the internal security. Internal security also GS paper 3 from mains point of view. And then Bhaskar Bala has joined. Aziz Mohammed has also joined. A warm welcome to both of you to AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis. And then we have looked at, as I said, that negative list when we are talking about, I mean, I've given the background. So Defense Ministry has come up with identifying a list that is 101 items, and it was identified on August 9th itself. August 9th. So almost 2-3 weeks back it was identified. And this is all what to promote Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative, as I said. And in regards to this, what it has done is it has gone ahead with, the Defense Ministry has gone ahead with a negative import list. That means those items, 101 items, the government will make sure that slowly and gradually they will stop importing by making sure that we are self-reliant by Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan scheme, by manufacturing within indigenously. And it has separate budgetary allocation for domestic procurement. For domestic procurement, that is for the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan scheme. The finance minister, that is Nirmala Sitharaman, in the month of May itself, they have gone ahead with a separate budgetary allocation for the domestic procurement of the defense equipment, and also indigenous production of the, or manufacturing of the indigenous spares and components. And then not only that, they have, I mean, the ministry has gone ahead with raising the FDI cap. Raising the FDI cap in what? In defense. So earlier it was 49%. Now it is raised from 49% to 74%. So these are all very important for prelims point of view. Please do understand prelims point of view. And internal security from mains GS paper 3. From mains GS paper 3 it is important. And there is another news which talks about virus breaches another wall. 4 Bondas test positive. So we are looking at the tribal community. No doubt it is in regards to the health. It is in regards to the health, that is the spread of virus in Orissa. The Bondas are in Orissa or Odisha, you can say. Odisha state. So what we will focus is the culture. We will focus this part of the history and culture. Again, subtopic as tribals. Tribals in India. So part of tribals in India we will focus this. So for the prelims point of view. So you need to get into the mode of how you try to identify the keyword. So here the keyword is tribal community who are being affected by the COVID-19 pandemic situation, and then they are being treated by the village or the district administration in various districts of Odisha. So the Bondas, the tribal community in Odisha, are part of the Malkangiri district. Which district? It is Malkangiri district. So what is important is, when you are having a question in regards to the, in the prelims which talks about the tribals and the districts. For example, if they are asking about only Odisha, for example, so which tribals X, Y, Z, and then districts A, B, C, match the following. Match the following. So that could be asked for match the following in the prelims point of view in regards to the tribals, or tribals in India, or tribals in the recent what has happened, the news, that is the contemporary news or the current issue. So we can link it with that. And then 4 of them have been tested positive, and these Bondas are called as particularly vulnerable tribal group. And this is again very important keyword for mains point of view. You can use it as a short notes, part of the short notes for mains point of view when it is asked in regards to the tribals in India. How tribals in India could be maximum not affected by the COVID-19 pandemic situation compared with the normal public normal citizens across the country. So they are called as bondas are called as particularly vulnerable tribal group. This keyword, please do take it into consideration. They are called as particularly vulnerable tribal groups, and they are living in the hills of Khairatpur block, Malkangiri district, in Khairatpur or Khairatput, sorry, Khairaput. I'm extremely sorry. Khairaput block. Under block. District is Malkangiri. Under which block? It is Khairaput block. And the population is how much, Bondas? It is 7,000 population. This we are taking into consideration for prelims point of view and mains point of view in regards to the tribals in India, history and culture. And in regards to the infected person, in regards to the COVID-19 of the Bondas, the 3 persons were infected and the village. This is a block, and the village which the Bondas were affected is from Mudilapadu village, and one from Bandaguda. So Mudilapadu village, Odisha, and three of them, and one from the Bandaguda. So we have looked at the villages. Please do understand why I am taking this flowchart is see here I have focused on the village, block level, district level, and then state, so that you will have a clear understanding about the tribals, that is Bondas, who have been affected by the COVID-19. So we have gone from Odisha state to district, Malkangiri district, and then the block is Khairaput block, and the village wherein the Bondas were affected by the COVID-19 pandemic is Mudilapadu village and Bandaguda. Probably you never know, this could be the part of your prelims question, because Malkangiri is also famous for various Naxals issues, because we have seen in the past, almost a decade back, we have seen IAS officers also been abducted by the MOIS, and definitely there was again interlocutor, mediator, and then the IAS officer was freed. And before I get into the next topic, Shravani says we have linked this Atmanirbhar to Swadeshi movement. Yes, absolutely, Shravani, and I really appreciate you that you still have that memory fresh in your mind. Swadeshi movement to Atmanirbhar Bharat. Absolutely, very good. That is what Defense Minister was talking about, Rajnath Singh. Then, and then the Odisha. When we look at this Odisha, again this is important for prelims point of view. So if you look at Odisha is home to how many tribal communities? 62 tribal communities. This is again important. Odisha is, for prelims point of view, home to 62 tribal communities, and they are the largest diverse group of tribal population in India. Please do understand this. You can take these short notes and then add it in your mains. When there is a question in regards to the tribals in India, you can take this point as the short notes for your mains. You can add Odisha is home to 62 tribal communities, which is the largest diverse groups of tribal population in India itself. And out of these 62, 13 are the particularly vulnerable tribal groups. Out of 62, 13 are the particularly vulnerable tribal groups, and we have referred these particularly vulnerable tribal groups. Which tribe? Bondas. Even Bondas are part of it. They are considered as particularly vulnerable tribal group. And in Odisha, when we are talking about the 62 tribal communities, they are found in entire 7 districts of Odisha. This is very important. Again, for mains point of view, as a short notes when you are writing, you can add this. So they are in the Kandhamal, in Mayurbhanj, in Sundargarh, Nabarangpur, and then Koraput, Malkangiri and Raigada. So these are the 7 districts wherein you find the tribal population. Almost entire seven districts you have the tribal population. So Kandamahal, Mayurbhanj or Mayurbhanj, Sundargarh, Nabarangpur, Koraput, Malkangiri and Rayagada. Other 7 districts with the entire 7 districts are constitutes the tribal population. Why I am saying this is, again I am reiterating, when there is a question in tribals in India, you can straight away put that as a short notes and you will add, definitely you will score marks. And in this entire you have in the entire 7 districts, almost 20 blocks. You have the maximum, again part of the 7 districts, you have 20 blocks where you have the maximum sizable population of these 13 particularly vulnerable tribal groups. And the government, because of the COVID-19 which has been affected to the Bondas, so the government has taken an initiative. Government of Odisha, state government has taken an initiative that it has translated the COVID-19 awareness leaflets, that is pamphlets, leaflets, in, this is very important, in how many languages could be the question for the prelims. Recently, Odisha government has translated COVID-19 awareness leaflets in which or in how many tribal languages. So you have 10 tribal languages. The government of Odisha has come up or translated the COVID-19 awareness leaflets, the guidelines, to 10 tribal languages. So this is very important for the prelims as well as mains examinations. And so we were talking about which block the Bondas were there. We were talking about the Bondas in the Kairaput block. So this is again very specifically for prelims point of view. Extremely sorry. Bondas, Kairaput block. So tribals, blocks. And now we will look at the others also, not only Bondas, we will look at the other tribals. So Dongriya Khand tribals. So they are in which block? They are in Bisam Katak and Kalyan Singapore. In Kalyan Singapore. And we'll also look at the other tribal, that is Paudi Bhuyans. They are in Lahuni Pada, Barkot and Palahara. And you have the other tribe, that is Sauras, and they are in Patrapur block. And you have the other one, that is you have the Lanjis Saura, which is in Gajapati's Guma block. So these are very important. If it can be asked in the match the following for the prelims. For the prelims point of view. CPK says, okay, morning sir, keywords very useful for learning. Yes, absolutely they are useful. So the Bondas in Khairaput, Dongria Khan in Bisam Kathak and Kalyan Singhpur, and then Paudi Buyans in Lahuni Padu, and then Barkhat and also in Palahara, and then Sauras in Patrapur, and Lanjia Saura in Gajapati Guma blocks. So these are very, very important. So look at how we are focused on the news is very simple. Please do understand. The news here is very, very simple. It is only, the news is virus breaches another wall and 4 bondas test positive. But please let me know that how many civil servant aspirants or you all focuses on this news comparing with the tribals of India. So the keyword here is tribals. So when you get into the mode of the tribals, then you have a solid foundation, conceptual and application part from history and culture, and then tribals in India for prelims and mains point of view. For prelims and mains point of view. And I'm reiterating and emphasizing, this is the way you need to focus. This is the way you need to focus in regards to your strategy for prelims as well as mains examinations. So there is another news which talks about Guwahati gets India's longest river ropeway. So this here the longest river ropeway. This is specifically for prelims point of view. So the keyword here is the longest river ropeway. So where is that longest river? Please do understand here. My focus is on this river ropeway. So definitely when our focus is on the river, UPSC will not may focus on river, but it will focus on news which is related to river ropeway or which is just opposite to the river ropeway. What is that? We will look at. What is that? We will look at. So this river ropeway is the longest river ropeway. Fine. And this is in Guwahati. This is in Guwahati, and the length is 1.2 kilometers, and this is a bi-cable zigzag ropeway. That means to and fro, and it is connecting the forest campus from Kamrup to North Guwahati. So Kamrup, that is the Deputy Commissioner office in the city on the southern bank of Brahmaputra. So Kamrup, you have this southern bank of Brahmaputra, river Brahmaputra, southern bank, and then it connects to the North Guwahati on the other side. And what is the other important is this longest river ropeway passes through Peacock. This is very important. Peacock or Peacock, however you pronounce, Peacock Island. This is very, very important. It passes through the mid-river Peacock Island that houses Umananda. What is Umananda? It is a medieval Shiva temple. Now you are getting the point that the focus is, many of them will just look at this. They will focus on the longest river ropeway in India is in Guwahati. That's it. They will not focus anything else. But UPSC might focus on this. What? The river ropeway, longest river ropeway, it passes through Peacock Island. So UPSC will certainly get into the depth of the Peacock Island. It will get into the Peacock Island, and there could be a possibility that the question could be based on the Guwahati gets India's longest ropeway, but it could be on ecology and environment on the Peacock Island. Please understand, on the Peacock Island, and again on the Shiva temple in regards to the history and culture. Please do understand. So the news is in regards to the current affairs, but there could be a possibility that UPSC might focus on the Peacock Island, because the ropeway is passing through the mid river of the Peacock Island, and it is also passing the Umananda, a temple that is a medieval Shiva temple. So the possibility of the question could be not only on regards to the river ropeway, the longest one, but on the ecology and environment of Peacock and the history and culture. So your focus should be on this in regards to this macro level, and again further get into micro level. And this was 56.08 crore, the entire budget, and it was assigned to Guwahati Metropolitan Development Authority. Metropolitan Development Authority in the year 2006 it was assigned, and it was foundation stone was laid in the year 2009, and it was completed in 2019 and inaugurated in 2020. Fine. It was assigned in the year 2016. Foundation stone was laid in the year 2019, and it was completed. Please do understand, it was completed in the year 2019, and it was inaugurated in 2020. And it was to the Kolkata-based firm. Kolkata-based firm has gone ahead with this entire ropeway. And here again, what is important is the cabins which are attached or part of the ropeway are developed by the Swiss firm, Switzerland, because Switzerland is also famous for the railways, especially the ropeways also. So cabins have been developed by the Swiss firms. And the other one, what is very important is we have looked at the longest river ropeway is at Guwahati, and now longest land ropeway is where Gulmarg district of Kashmir. This is again very important, because many of them will not focus the micro level, which is important for the prelims point of view. So longest on land is in Gulmarg, that is in Kashmir. Longest river ropeway is on Guwahati, on river Brahmaputra. So I hope how you need to focus your learning also here. And then Harika Yadav has joined, Sanjeev Kumar has joined. A warm welcome to both of you to AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis. And then China launches warship for Pakistan. So definitely we know that China and Pakistan are definitely coming together. So we have seen China and Pakistan together. We have seen the China-Pakistan economic corridor, CPEC, fine. And now on the sidelines of the India-China having the skirmishes or the face off along the LAC between India and China, and then China trying to have or improve or strengthen the bilateral relations with India's neighboring countries, that is with Pakistan, Nepal, and also Bangladesh, and also Sri Lanka. So in that regard, strengthening of China's bilateral relations with India's neighboring countries, and one of it, the country is the neighboring country of India is Pakistan. So China has gone ahead with launching of the warship. And which warship it has gone ahead with? So based on, so this is what China Pakistan are deepening. What they are deepening? The deepening the defense ties. Please do understand. This is again keyword. The keyword here is deepening of the defense ties between China and Pakistan, and based on that there was new ship has been launched. China has launched the first out of 4. So total there are 4 advanced naval warships, where China will be providing part of the deepening defense ties to Pakistan, and the first one is been launched from where? This is important, from Hudong Zhonghai shipyard. So it has been launched from Hudong Zhonghai shipyard from Shanghai, that is from China. So this one. So what is the type of that advanced naval warship? The name of it is type 054 class frigate. So frigate is which is involved in the battlefield, So China-Pakistan defense ties, on the sidelines of the China-Pakistan defense ties, China has launched, the ceremony has taken place at Hudong Zhongoi shipyard, and the first ship, that is the advanced naval warship to Pakistan, the name of it is Type 054 class frigate, has been launched out of the 4. And this Type 054 class frigate is equipped with the latest surface, latest subsurface, latest anti-air weapons, combat management system and sensors. This is very important for you in regards to the conceptual understanding. So Type 4, why it is very important? Because it is equipped with latest surface, the surface of the class frigate. This surface we are talking about, this surface is the latest surface, subsurface, and the latest surface and subsurface and anti-air weapons, and then the combat management system, sensors, and all these are technologically advanced surface platform. The entire Type 054 is an technologically advanced surface platform, which is an advanced naval warship which is been launched by China to Pakistan as part of China-Pakistan defense ties. And from Pakistan side and China side, this contract has been signed, and from China it is China Shipbuilding Trading Company Limited has delivered the 2 frigates in 2017. So this signing, the contract has been signed in the year 2017, and we have seen that August 21, China Pakistan have gone ahead with the second strategic dialogue. So part of the second strategic dialogues, now the launching of the Type 054 class frigate has been provided to Pakistan from China. So this is the Type 054 class frigate. And you have another news which talks about NABARD plan to finance NBFCs and MFS. So we will definitely look at the keywords here are NABARD, NBFCs, and then MFIs. So NABARD is National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, NBFCs are non-banking financial companies, and MFI is microfinancial institutions. So these are very, very important keyword for economy point of view, for prelims and also for the conceptual understanding for the mains examination analysis point of view. So NABARD has introduced, so we will look at this NABARD plan to finance. So NABARD is financing whom? Financing the non-banking financial companies and the micro-financial institutions. And NABARD has introduced what? It has introduced structured finance and the partial guarantee program. This is again very important for prelims and mains point of view. So NABARD has introduced what? Structured finance and partial guarantee program to both NBFCs and microfinancial institutions. And what is this structured finance and partial guarantee program? It is a dedicated debt and credit guarantee. It is a dedicated debt in the sense like you are loan, debt and credit guarantee. And what does this ensure? Which are we talking about? Ensuring what? Ensuring this program. Which program is this? Structured finance and partial guarantee It is a dedicated and debt credit guarantee, and it ensures unhindered in the sense uninterrupted. That means it will ensure continuous. It will ensure continuous flow of credit. This is very important. So conceptual understanding is it will ensure the continuous flow of credit to whom? To the rural areas. Rural areas. So it will go ahead with making sure that it will ensure the continuous flow of credit, because it is a structured financial partial guarantee, which is a dedicated debt and credit guarantee, which ensures a continuous flow of credit to whom? To the rural areas. And then NABARD has signed an agreement with whom? So to Vivriti Capital and to Ujjivan Small Finance Bank. Ujjivan Small Finance Bank. So this is again important part of the prelims point of view, because it is a new program and this program has to be taken into consideration for prelims point of view, because NABARD has come up with a new program, that is structured financial and partial guarantee program, and that is been signed. NABARD has signed this program with Vivriti Capital. Which among the following have been the signatory with the NABARD for the structured finance partial guarantee program? If the question is that is Vivriti Capital and Ujjivan Small Finance Bank. And this will enhance what? It will enhance access to sustainable finance for micro enterprises and low income groups. So it will be for the micro enterprises, that is micro financial institutions, and for the low income household people. This is very important. Why? Because these are the keywords when you are writing in the mains, you will be in a position to understand. This program is to ensure that it will have access to sustainable finance for whom? Micro enterprises, and then to the low income households, also, and to the low income households. And this is very, very important for economy point of view in regards to the NABARD. And this will provide partial guarantee, as we discussed. The program itself talks that it is a partial guarantee to whom? To small and mid-size MFIs. We have discussed this, small and mid-size MFIs, and this will facilitate how much? 2,500 crores of funding. And now we will look at NABARD. So NABARD has been the formation of NABARD, because this is again very important for the prelims point of view, and this has to be known for you when you are writing an answer in the mains, when it is focusing in regards to the NABARD. When a question is in regards to NABARD, so it has been formed. That means NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture, and so it is for, this bank is for what? Agriculture and rural development. Please do understand, this is a national bank. NABARD is what? It is a national bank. National bank for whom? For agriculture and rural development. This you please understand. It is a national bank for agriculture and rural development, and it was approved by what? It was approved by Parliament through an Act 61 of 1981. This is very important. So it is approved by the Parliament through an Act 61 of 1981, and it came into existence. It was approved. Please you understand, very important. Approved in the year 1981, and it has come into existence in the year 1982. Do not get confused if it is asked in the prelims. If it is asked in the prelims, do not get confused. Approved in the year 1981 through the Parliament Act 61 of 1981, and the existence of the NABARD has come into the existence in the year 1982 by, and here NABARD, here if you look at NABARD has been transferred. So what? The RBI had the credit function, agricultural credit function, what the RBI had, and the other one is refinancing function of Agricultural Refinance and Development Corporation. Please do understand, this agri refinance function or credit functioning, agriculture credit function, which was part of the RBI, and then the part of the refinancing by the Agriculture Refinance and Development Corporation were totally transferred. Please do understand, this is again very important. This was totally transferred to NABARD. This is conceptual point. Was totally transferred to NABARD in the year 1982 when it has come into existence. So before that, the credit function was, agricultural credit function was with RBI. This powers of agriculture credit functions were with RBI, and the refinance function was with the Agricultural Refinance and Development Corporation. These two powers were transferred to NABARD in the year 1982. This is very important, and NABARD is totally or fully owned by now the government of India. So this is how you need to focus both for prelims as well as mains examination. So this will, NABARD will definitely influence the policy. It involves many institutions, it encourages innovations, it partners with motivating partners, it coordinates with various partners, it has linkages with various groups, it provides training and capacity building, it forms groups, and it provides technical assistance, it also provides credit support. So these are all the functions of the NABARD. And now we will look at the recapitulate of the DNA. So definitely when we look at the DNA, when we focus this in regards to the prelims point of view and mains point of view in regards to the science and technology, we have focused this. And DRDO again in regards to the national security for both for current affairs, that is for prelims as well as mains point of view. Mains why? Because in regards to the internal security, GS paper 3. And then this we have looked at in regards to the history and culture, focusing especially in regards to the tribals for both prelims and mains point of view. And then again in regards to the current affairs, we have looked at the longest river ropeway, and we have also focused this in regards to the ecology and environment point of view. Ecology, environment, and also in regards to the history. Why? Because a medieval Shiva temple it is there, and also you have the Peacock Island. And then again this is in regards to the international relations, current affairs. And then NABARD again in regards to the economy point of view, we have focused how the NABARD has been in the forefront of coming up with the new program. So that is again very important for prelims as well as mains examination. So look at it, how strategically the explanation in the AKS IAS Academy daily news analysis we have taken up, which is macro level and then micro level, both for mains and also for the prelims point of view. And before I get into the next slide, I would say Supriya and Ramkumar, a warm welcome to both of you, that is to AKS IAS Academy daily news analysis. And then I would say a very big thank you to all and a good luck. Good luck, that all the luck in the world are wished for you. All the luck in the world are wished for you. And I would say do like the video, share the video and subscribe the video, that is in regards to the advanced knowledge systems of AKS IAS Academy. And then do make sure that you are visiting the AKS IAS Academy website also, and do subscribe to the Telegram link of AKS IAS Academy also. And I would say I would see you again in regards to the daily news analysis, that is tomorrow. Once again I would meet you at 7:30 AM in regards to the daily news analysis. And I would once again without fail I would wish to reiterate my statements, that is in regards to all the civil servant aspirants. Do maintain consistency in regards to your preparation, and then do stick to your schedule, and then make sure that you take care of your physical health and then mental health. Physical health and mental health. And then I hope the daily news analysis at AKS IAS Academy is definitely informative and then knowledgeable, and I assure you that it will certainly put you edge over others in regards to prelims as well as mains examinations. And then I would say I would take leave and then see you tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. And then Mamur Rama has joined. A warm welcome to you. Good morning to you, Mamur Rama. I think this is your first class because I have never seen you in the live chat. So warm welcome to you to AKSIS Academy Daily News Analysis, and you have said good information, sir. And thank you very much. Thank you very much, Rama. And then definitely I will come up with the information which will be informative, knowledgeable for both prelims and mains, and wherein you can score higher marks in prelims and mains and also sail through the interview, that is personality test also. See you tomorrow at 7:30 a.m.